What is going on, everybody? Nick Alberici here, back with another NFL predictions video. Week 4 is upon us. I'm coming out here in this video on a Tuesday because tomorrow I got something going on. So, obviously I dread doing Tuesday videos because it's too early in the week. But if Wednesday I'm busy, I have to. So I understand a lot of shit is gonna change from now until Saturday night when you get these alerts. Oh, guys are active, guys are out. That happened last week. So I did the video, and Friday somebody big was out, and I was like, oh boy. But I was a team I had, but I stuck with them, and they still won. I fucking forget. But so I do know it was the Jets too. I did have the Bucks winning, but the Jets Fields was out, so the line changed. So so. We're sitting here already at week 4. Just feels like yesterday the first game kicked off on September 4th, whatever it was. So, flying by, man. So, it was a fun week. I dominated both my leagues in fantasy. The Vikings dominated Cincinnati. That was just a good old ass beating. That was even like, that game was over like before halftime. Carson Wentz looked all right. The Vikings defense got me 40 points in one league, got me 32 in the other. So they carried me into victory. So it was a good week. It was a good week. As long as the Vikings win, it's a good week. But if the Vikings win and fantasy wins in both leagues, it's a great week. Or even in one league, it's still a great week because I just won in something. So let's get into it for week 4. All right, so Thursday Night Football. Seahawks, Cardinals. Not a bad game. Not a bad one. Yeah, some people might sit here and say, but it's not a bad game. Seattle's 1.5. Over-under is 43.5. And by the way, last week I went 12-4 again. So my record's 36-12 through the year. So I'm 12-4 3 weeks straight, let's see how long I can keep 12-4 up. So I think the Seahawks win this game because, first of all, Arizona, they're 2-1, but you don't fear them. They beat the Saints and then they beat the Panthers, and they just barely lost to the Niners. But they just lost James Conner for the year. I mean, people knew that was coming, especially me. Guys hurt every year. But I think the Seahawks win this game. I think Darnold, he's looked all right over there so far until teams figure him out. But I think the Seahawks are the better team. So I'm gonna say Seahawks win this game 23-16. I think this will be an entertaining Thursday night game. It's an entertaining Thursday night game. Then we're on the Sunday. We have our first international game of the year. 9:30 a.m. NFL Network. It says NFL Network / because Joe Davis and Greg Olsen are doing it, and they're Fox. I don't know if it'll be on Fox too, but it's NFL Network. Vikings Steelers. Vikings are 2.5. Over-under is 40.5. I mean, just last week, the early line on this game, Pitt was 2.5. So this shit's been fucking changing. I mean, it's a 4-point swing in a matter of a week. I know we played great last week and Wentz looked all right, but that's crazy. Pittsburgh, their defense hasn't looked good at all, in my opinion. And then their offense, since week 1, hasn't looked good in these last 2 games. So, and as the Vikings come to life, I mean, there's a lot of, and if we get Addison back, that's huge. Darisaw coming back is huge. So, this game right here is huge because then we play the Browns after this in London, so we're overseas back-to-back weeks. So, I mean, the Browns, if you win this game, you're winning both overseas. I think the Vikings win this game. I mean, I think it's going to be a really close game. I just think because all these games overseas are always close. When you ever see teams get destroyed overseas, it just doesn't happen. Because it's just weird like that. All these international games are always close. I'll be setting my alarm, no later than 7:30. Get up, eat breakfast, do whatever, and enjoy this one. So I say Vikings win this game. I say Vikings win. I'm gonna go like a weird one here. I'm gonna say like 23-19. a 4-point win. Rodgers, we faced him last year in London. He threw a pick to end it. I think like Stephon Gilmore picked it off against them. So I think this year, I don't know. Maybe the Vikings, have the ball and they put together a drive at the end of the game, and not a scoring drive. They're up like 23-19. They run the ball out with Jordan Mason, and then they eventually just kneel down on it. I could see one of those games. Or Rodgers, he does he did last year. He throws a pick or fumbles, end it with our defense coming after him. It's gonna be a type of ending like that. But I think the Vikings win. It's at least it's a good game. Like two teams people want to see, not like Jaguars, Raiders. Like, you know what I mean, you're seeing a good game. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for both of these international games, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm mainly more excited to play the Browns because I think that's gonna be like a fun one for us. I think we're just gonna destroy them, but should be fun. Should be fun, especially getting Addison back. And then we got the 1 o'clock window now. So we got the Commanders at the Falcons. The Commanders are 1.5, over is 45.5. This game's a weird game right here. It's a really weird game. The Falcons, the Panthers blew them out last week, but that's a division game. Shit like that in the division happens. Don't mind. It's my phone ringing in my house. Don't mind that. So, just give it a minute. Yeah, I don't know. That happens. So if Daniels plays, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer for Washington to win. But if Mariota plays, it's tough. Like it's just that one type of game you sit here and say, yeah, I just don't know. But I'm going to stick with Commanders no matter what here. I just think they're just a better team in general. But Atlanta might feel embarrassed after last week, so it's a tough game. This is the toss-up of the week. But if Daniels plays, it's a no-brainer. So I'm gonna bank on he's playing. But I'm just gonna say here 24-21. Just whatever happens. If he plays 24-21, if he doesn't 24-21, Commanders. It's just how it is. So, but I think Atlanta being back home might give them a boost a little bit. So. But toss up of the week, Commanders win. I'm going to blow through these next probably three to four games here. The Bills home against the Saints. It's the lock of the week. Everybody knows it. The Bills are 16.5, over 47.5. Yeah, I think the Bills win this game like 45-14. I just think they're just going to annihilate them. Like Spencer Rattler, he can't win. The Bills have all signed to prepare. It's just the Saints are just garbage. Everywhere in the book, they're garbage. So the Bills are just going to absolutely destroy the Saints. Browns at the Lions. Detroit's 8.5. Over is 44.5. The Lions, they looked pretty decent last night, I would say. You can't say good because you expected that game to be a high-scoring game. So you can't sit here and say, the Lions looked, unstoppable because they did give up 30 points. I mean... and they sacked Jackson like 9 times, whatever it was, and they still gave up 30 points. And they should have given up more, but I'll get into the Ravens in a little bit. But, the Browns, I'm thankful they beat Green Bay last week. Green Bay, they showed who they really are. A joke in my book. They're so overrated. But I think the Browns this week, they fall back to earth. I think Flacco he's going to get destroyed out there, just like he is in the week after against the Vikings if he comes out of this game healthy. I think the Lions drop 50 in this game. I think it's because every time they play shitty teams at home, the Lions just run up the score. So I'd say the Lions win this game. I'm going to say 50-17. I think they're just going to blow them out. Cleveland, they have nothing. They're just this is the lock of the week too. But I think the Bills are the more safer pick because. Football's fixed. Lions come off a short week. But I'd say they drop 50 on them because the Lions run up the score against bad teams at home. They do it all the time. So I want to say 50. What I say, 50-17. 50-17 Detroit. And then we got the Panthers at the Patriots. New England's 5.5. Over-under 43.5. Yeah, I think the Panthers had a big win last week. They're all And I think this week they struggle. New England, they lost both of their games at home, but I think they finally get their home win. Yeah, I just think the Patriots need to they need to get Henderson in the game. Travion Henderson. They're fucking around with Ramondre Stevenson and the other dickhead. What's his name? Antonio Gibson. He was good maybe 5 years ago with Washington when he was breaking long ones. But they gotta stop fucking around. So Patriots win this week. I think this game's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a double-digit win for them. I want to say 30-17. I just think this is the game where they finally they look good. Like they beat Miami, but they didn't look good. Miami just is that bad. So I mean, this is the game. I think the Panthers are flying high, and then they come back to their losing ways this week. So Patriots win. And then we got the Chargers at the Giants. Chargers are 6.5. Over-under 44.5. I just saw Russell Wilson got benched, so Dart's going to be starting. He was good. He was good in college. I don't know how he'll be with this disaster of a team in New York. So the Chargers, I think the Chargers roll here. To be honest, I think the Giants' offense might look worse with Dart and Wilson just because it's his first start. That team's got nobody to throw to minus Neighbors. The running back's going to be out. The Chargers' defense isn't too bad. The Chargers, they might be 4-0. I mean, they're not really as good as their record will state, but they're still a solid team. So Chargers win this game. I say Chargers win here 27-13. I mean, cross-country game could be a weird one, but I just trust the Chargers a lot more. Then we got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. Eagles are 3.5, over 43.5. Yeah, the Eagles, they always struggle in Tampa, but they caught another break. I think Mike Evans is going to be out. They're still without Godwin. Tampa's look good, but all their wins are at the wire. And don't get me wrong, the Eagles, again, I'm not hating over here, but the Eagles, you got to look yourself in the mirror as an Eagles fan. They're 3-0, but should they be 3-0? They got gifted week 1 against Dallas because CeeDee Lamb decided to drop passes, and who was it? Williams or Sanders fumbled. They would have scored. Dallas would have taken the lead. Week 2, Kansas City. I mean, that was a tight game. I mean, anybody could have won that game. So give them that. And then last week, the Rams just fucked around. They were up 26-7. I'm surprised McVay just let his foot off the gas and just didn't steamroll him like that. And then they're missing and getting the field goal blocked twice. So I haven't heard Eagles fans say it because I just got a new job. So where I'm working, I hear Eagles fans saying, yesterday I heard them say, aren't we the luckiest team in the NFL? Yeah, I know. But they're saying, we don't mind it because we were winning. I mean, even when your own fans are admitting you're a lucky fan base and team, there's something about it. I mean, they're eventually going to lose. I mean, this week I could say it, but I'm just going to take the Eagles because Tampa's due for a loss. You know what I mean? So I'll take the Eagles here. I'm going to say this game right here. This is going to be a tight game. I'm going to say 26-24 Eagles. Tampa gets off to a hot start and shit. And if they're up 21-10 or something like that, I think Tampa wins. I don't think the Eagles have to come back on them 2 weeks in a row. But we'll see. I mean, this is probably the best game of the 1 o'clock window. Yeah, for sure. So we're giving the Eagles, but it should be a great game. Then we got the Titans at the Texans. Houston 6.5, over 38.5. God, Houston to me, I just think C.J. Stroud. I used to like him, but now he's on the road to a bust. I know the offense isn't great. I know it's not all his fault, but every game they can't score more than 14 points. Think about it. Week 1, they scored 9. Last week they scored 13, and last week they scored 2 weeks ago they scored 14, and last week was 13. So they fucking can't score. If Tennessee scores 20 points, they're gonna feel good about themselves. But Houston's got to win. They finally have to win a game. If they lose this game, I mean, do you fucking think about giving Stroud a fucking soft benching? Do you think about maybe you can't? D'Amico Ryans, he's a decent coach, but that's what I would consider a soft benching on Stroud until the offense gets moving. Maybe you sit him. You know what I mean? Maybe you figure something out and you say, hey, we're gonna sit you for a game. I don't know who the fuck they play next, but you sit them. You see what happens. Even if they win this game and struggle, which I think is gonna happen, I'm gonna say 21-17 Houston. I think they finally score over 14 points, but again, it's a struggle against Tennessee. Only because Tennessee is not a good team. So it's just weird how Houston operates. Then we got 4 o'clock window. We got Colts at Rams. The Rams are 3.5. Over under 49.5. The Colts have looked hella good, man. Jonathan Taylor had him on my fantasy team. He's the favorite for offensive player of the year right now. But I think eventually the Colts have to lose a game, and this is the game. The Rams have a very bad taste in their mouths. I still think they're the better team. I mean, don't get me wrong. This game is going to be probably, to be honest with you, I think this game is going to be a better 4 o'clock game than the Ravens Chiefs. To be honest with you, because the Ravens the Chiefs offense doesn't put up enough points, and I don't know. I just think this is the better. I think it's the more game that, like, on my screen I'll care about, like when Red Zone's on. And I have Jonathan Taylor too, so that's huge. But I think this Colts Rams game, I think is going to be more entertaining than the Ravens Chiefs. But I'll take the Rams. I think this Colts eventually have to lose. So I'm going to say the Rams win here 27-24. I think maybe a game-winning field goal, with under a minute left, and then the Colts try to go down the field and they get stopped, something like that. It's going to come down to the wire. Then we got the Jaguars at the Niners. 49ers are 3.5. Over under 47.5. Another team. The Niners are 3-0, but do you really fear them? I don't. I do think they win this week, though. I don't know if they're getting guys back, but the Jaguars are they're another team. Like Trevor Lawrence, like he didn't live up to the hype how good he is. You know what I mean? Brian Thomas is having a shit year. Travis Hunter, I haven't really been paying attention, but if I ain't paying attention, to me, he's not doing enough to catch my eye. So, if this game was in Jacksonville, I'd probably take the Jags at being home, but it just, if Mac Jones starts, revenge game, because he was on the Jags last year, but it's just the Niners home, CMC should catch and run all over this team. So I'll take the Niners here. I'm going to say 23-17. I don't know. It's just Lawrence. I think Lawrence, they need to move on. So, 49ers win. Then we got the Bears and the Raiders. Vegas is 1.5. Over under is 48.5. Here's my first upset. It's not really an upset because both these teams are equivalent in my book. But I'm going to take the Bears. I just think they're just a better team than the Raiders. Geno Smith he just sucks. Why would you even bring him in? I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. The Bears, they beat the Cowboys last week at home. I mean, that's not saying much because the Cowboys, their defense is horrible. It's a bottom 5 defense in football. But I just think the Bears are just they have the better receivers. Raiders got the better tight end. I think, obviously, Caleb Williams is better than Geno. The Bears' defense is better. Their O-line's better. So I just give me the Bears here on the road. I mean, Ben Johnson, I think he's a better coach. Pete Carroll, the game has surpassed him. So don't get me wrong, he's still a Hall of Fame coach, I think. But, I just think so. The Bears win. I'm going to say Bears win this game 24-20. So, I don't know. It's a tough game to choose, but I like the Bears. I just think they're just a better team. Then we got the Ravens at the Chiefs. Baltimore's 2.5. Over under 47.5. It's this another game. I mean, Derrick Henry's cost the Ravens 2 games now. Kansas City, they won last week, but again, they didn't look that good. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand what it is. You have Mahomes. I mean, I know they have their receivers banged up and hurt. I get it, but I just don't understand why their offense struggles to score over 20 points. But the Ravens are a factor too. In my opinion, I don't know, what people are going to say about this, but Harbaugh, the coach, I think he's a dope. The league has surpassed him. He was a good coach, 2010 to 20. 2020, whenever the last time the Ravens went far in the playoffs. 2021, whatever it was. But these last couple of years, the game has surpassed him. Like, I think Jim Harbaugh is better. Just like I see locker room speeches. I see how hard Jim is with his team and how, like, I mean, it just, back then, John was a better coach. Now Jim's a better coach. Like, they're different style of coaches. He just doesn't know how to seal games out. He has the most blown leads. The Ravens have the most blown leads since 2020, I think. It just, he's just a dupe. Like the league, like he just, now he's not as bad as levels of, like, Jonathan Gannon for the Cardinals. He sucks. Steichen's actually doing good for the Colts, but at times I thought he was an idiot. Green Bay, LaFleur, I mean, he's so overrated, dude. He's such an overrated coach. Like, he was really good because he had Rodgers all those years. Like, LaFleur sucks. But, like, so Harbaugh is better than those guys. But, yeah, to me, I just think this league has surpassed him. But I think the Ravens win and bounce back. It's hard to go against Mahomes, but their offense to me is it's just flat. Like, it's just a flat offense. So I'm gonna say Ravens win here. I think the Ravens win by at least 10 points. I'm gonna say 31-21. It's just Kansas City. I don't know. So Ravens win. Sunday Night Football, Packers, Cowboys, Green Bay is 6. Over-under is 47.5. Yeah, I think Green Bay wins, especially now without CeeDee Lamb. They have a bad taste in their mouths, and the Cowboys just aren't that good of a team. So, Green Bay, Packers win. I'm going to say 31-20. I think, this is the game where, like, you might sit here and say, like, oh, both teams could score in the 30s because Dallas offense at home is better than they are at the road. But I just think, to me, Dallas, I don't know, man. It's just Dak Prescott. He's so overpaid. Like, they pay the wrong guys over there. Like, let's pay Bland. Let's pay. Bland's good, but he's not somebody you give $90 million to before you give Parsons a deal. I think Parsons might even have a strip sack in this game. He's gonna have extra juice. So Green Bay wins. Then we have this stupid ass Monday night doubleheader. This is the worst. Like, we watched WWE Raw. Like, we're all Raw over this shit. Like, these games do nothing for me. So we have the Jets at the Dolphins at 7:15. The Miami's 2.5. Over-under is 45.5. Miami, I guess, has to win, but the Jets have to win. So, but I'm going to take the Dolphins because they're home and they have more time to prepare. Yeah, man, this is just, I'm going to say Miami wins 27-20. I think Garrett Wilson has a huge game, though. I think Miami's defense is so bad. I just think, like he that's going to be games where he goes deep, he catches long ones. I think Tyreek has a big game, too. I think there's going to be a lot of, like, big plays. But to me, it's just how could you sit there and say, at 4:30 in the afternoon, at the first game, it's Jets Dolphins. Who cares? Like, who cares? So, but Miami, I think Miami. And in this game, Broncos home against the Bengals. Denver's 7.5. Over-under is 44.5. Yeah, I mean, Denver should bounce back here in a decent way. I mean, the Bengals last week, we just dominated them in every phase. But, I mean, the Denver, like, their defense hasn't looked good at all this year. Like I'm not impressed with it. I mean, they've had, week one, they looked dominant, I guess because that was Tennessee. I think this game will look dominant because it's Jake Browning. But I think, their offense needs to get going too. I told my one buddy, it's a Broncos fan. My other buddy, I said, Bo Nix hasn't looked all that this year. The offense hasn't been smooth, turning the ball over. I mean, their problem is in Denver. They don't know how to build an offense over there. Like, you don't go out and sign Evan Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, and thinking, those guys are going to help us win out this division because It's not. Like their goal, they should have got one of those running backs in the first round, or they shouldn't have got the defensive rookie. I know he's supposed to be good. I forget his name, the corner, but they should have got a running back. I think they picked over the Chargers, didn't they? I don't fucking know, but they could have got. I'm not sure. I don't know, but they could have got Hampton or at least traded up. I'm just saying. So, but I'll take the Broncos here. I'll say 31-16. The Bengals are going to be tough to pick to win games the rest of this way with that quarterback. So that's all I got. Another 25-minute video for you guys. Yeah, once buys come into play, these videos will probably be 20 minutes. So I think next week starts buy. So that's all I got. Another Tuesday special. We'll see where I'm at next week with these. So that's all I got. So I hope you guys enjoy the week, enjoy the games, enjoy the last of the beautiful weather, because we'll be in October already next week. And, before you know it, it'll be getting cold. And, the only good thing about this time of year is football, and then the holidays coming up. Halloween's fun. Thanksgiving's chill, and then Christmas and New Year's chill. But after that, bring on spring. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys back here next week. Enjoy the games. As always, Skol Vikes. See you guys.